Yo, what's up, everybody? Um, so I was going to give a analysis of the national championship game. Honestly, as you can see, it was a rout 65-7. There's not much to talk about in the game. Um, Stetson Bennett had 6 touchdowns, 4 passing, 2 rushing. Um, Defense was smothering. Just an incredible performance. I think they set the record for the biggest margin of a victory in championship history, or at least in the championship era, I believe. Yeah, lots of records broken. So yeah, there's not much about the game. It was over quick and early. Georgia went 15-0, undefeated. Congratulations to Georgia. But I also want to say congratulations to TCU. They started the season nowhere near the top 25 and ended up number 3 in the country. And we already know tomorrow, or today, I guess today's Tuesday. All these channels will be talking. They'll be talking about Georgia, and is this the beginning of a dynasty? But they'll also be talking about TCU, and everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon. Should they have been in this? Should they have been in the playoffs at all because they lost and all this? Oh, they're not for real. They're not a talented team. They play in a weak conference. All that foolishness. And I just want to say TCU deserved to be here. Look, they got in. They made the best of their opportunity. They beat the team that was in front of them, and that was Michigan. They beat them. Um, it was pretty sound. I mean, but to be fair, that game there wasn't a whole lot of defense. There was a lot of key defensive plays, but overall there wasn't a whole lot of defense. Um, they just ran into some. Look, man. Sometimes you run into a brick wall. Ain't nobody say anything when Oklahoma got beat by USC back in the day. They didn't say, "Oh, Oklahoma shouldn't have been in the title game." Um, they didn't say anything when LSU got shut out by Alabama. They didn't say, "Oh, they shouldn't have been in the game." Um, you know what I mean? But with TCU, they're going to find a way to make it. Oh, they're not a strong team. They had no business being here. Oh, they had a weak opponent in the semifinals. I'm like, no, man, come on now. Look, this is football, man. You have to go out there and play. And people forget it's not like Georgia ran through the playoffs. I mean, Georgia was a field goal away from losing. I don't think people. It's quick. People forget that they were a bad field goal away by Ohio State from not even being in this situation. And you can only play who's in front of you. Who knows if Ohio State had been here, it might have been a closer game. Maybe TCU might have won. TCU might have still lost. You never know. That this game is not indicative of their overall season. I mean, they had a great season. Um, First Big 12 team in the college football playoffs. Um, TCU. I would say this is probably the best season they've had since the last time whenever they won the national championship, which is I think maybe like the 40s, maybe 50s. I think the last time they won. So it's been a long time since they won the championship. Or if they won it all, I'm not too sure if they've actually won a title. Or if they did, like I said, it may have been like a long, long time ago since they won a national championship. But yeah, look, if you know football, if you're a real fan, then you know TCU deserve to be here. Sometimes you just get smacked. I mean, that's just life. There's been Super Bowls where teams got smacked, but you don't you don't look at it and say, "Oh, they shouldn't have been here." No, they won the games. They had to win to get to this point. Ain't nobody say the Broncos shouldn't have been in that Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks when they got beat 43-8. Ain't nobody say anything when the Atlanta Falcons got beat by the Denver Broncos back in the late '90s. Ain't nobody say anything about the Patriots shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl when they got smacked by the Chicago Bears in the '80s. I mean, come on now. No one is saying this. It's not. It's not. it's false. It's not being genuine. People understand if you like I said, if you're real football fans, you understand this stuff is hard, right? And um they would bring this up even if this was Michigan, even if TCU had lost last week to Michigan and Michigan was here. Um, I don't think Michigan would have beat Georgia. And who knows? It may have been the same result. Georgia may have ran through Michigan, and we people would probably be starting this whole narrative. Of, oh, Michigan shouldn't have been in the playoffs. They play in a weak conference too. I mean, you can't say that because that's just silly. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. There wasn't, like I said, there wasn't much of a game, but I just want to get out in front of this before everyone starts writing articles and making videos about TCU that that just aren't true. They had a great season. They deserve to be here. I was like I said, I admit myself. I believe they shouldn't have been in it because they lost that title game to Kansas State. But I don't make the final decision. The playoff committee made the decision, and hey, it worked. I mean, it is what it is. People say the same thing about Cincinnati, and even though Cincinnati lost, people were still talking about, oh, they shouldn't have been in at all. But it's like, look, man, you had to settle on the field. And to be fair, a lot of these semifinal games up until like recently have been really bad. Like Washington was in one time, and I think they got beat by double digit points. I mean, a lot of these semifinal games hadn't been great for a good while. I mean, it's only been recently. Like you had like the Oklahoma, there's Oklahoma Georgia with Baker. I remember that one. That was a good game. Yeah, the games last week, both of them. Um, yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's all. I'm just rambling on, but yeah, congrats to Georgia for back to backs. Uh, Apparently, they're favored to win next year. Um, Three-peat is unheard of. I don't. I think you really have to go back to like the inception of college football to get a three time back to back to back champions. I think you'd have to go back decades to find that. Um, but could they do it? It's very possible. I mean, if they stay healthy and get the breaks, hey, anything's happening. I would love to see them three-peat. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome to see in real time. Because, like I said, I think the last time we had a three-time champion, I want to say like 90%, 90% of the world wasn't even born yet when that happened. Most likely, um, yeah. And also, congrats to TCU, man. They look, man. No one thought they would make this far, and look, they were a game away. They just, sometimes you just run into a much better, stronger opponent. That's just it is. That's how it is in football. That's how it is in life. Sometimes you just run into a brick wall. You just can't get by. It doesn't mean you didn't deserve the opportunity. It just means you weren't necessarily either prepared or it just wasn't your time. That's all. I think they'll take this momentum and hopefully they do well in recruiting and they try to get back to this spot again because I know it's gonna be hard with Dugan. I think he's a senior, right? So he'll be leaving. A lot of this talent's leaving, so we'll see what happens in recruiting with them. But yeah, also to the other two teams, Michigan and Ohio State. Congrats to you guys too for making it, having great seasons. You would have fun. Hey man, out of 100 and what is it 32 teams, I think 132 FBS teams. These were the final four teams in the whole country. That's very impressive. That's nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Are you on the side of what everyone's going to be talking about tomorrow, that TCU didn't deserve to be here? Do you think it is what it is? I don't really care either way. Or you're on the side of, they got the opportunity, they made the best of it, they just fell short. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great night.